22 OK Bet Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino. Today is our final day here in the Sarangani province, and we still have a doubleheader present for you guys. The Muntinlupa CAGERS and the Quezon City MG Cars will begin things here in the Sarangani Capital Gym. As you get to see the crowd, always excited as we are visiting for the first time this season here in this very gymnasium. We mentioned QC versus Muntinlupa in the first game, and then later on, the Sarangani Marlins will be defending their home court for the second time this season and the third time in MPBL history, going up against the Bacolod Bingo Plus. And of course, we are glad to have you with us once more. Big Gomez at your service alongside Javi Palanya. Javi, Muntinlupa yesterday, nakita natin, dikitan ang laro in the first three quarters. Unfortunately, their opponent pulled away in the fourth frame. The same thing happened for QC.
Yeah, this has been the same team for the CAGERS in the past three games against Nueva Ecija. They kept in step until the third quarter. The fourth quarter, bumulusok na ang Rice Vanguards. The same with Pasig, kaya lang umabot naman ng overtime yung game na yun. That was a golden opportunity for them to end their slump, kaya lang na they just fell short in the extra period. Now, can they be able to break that slump, which is the second longest winning streak here in the MPBL? For QC naman, it has been a matter of playing well in the second half. Second half, lagi umaarangkada yung mga kalaban nila. Can they do it now against the Muntinlupa CAGERS? Malalaman natin in just a bit.
Alright. And of course, for our broadcast team, kasama rin natin ating courtside reporter na si Sheila Salaysay. Sheila, mayong gabi.
Well, good evening, Migs and Javi at sa ating mga kaligang nanonood ngayon sa atin. Today is our last day dito sa Sarangani and the last chance for these two teams makakuha ng panalo. Well, we'll see. For the past few days, sila lang ang dalawang koponan na wala pa rin panalo. But we'll see how these guys will play tonight.
Pretty sure that the Quezon City MG Cars are very much motivated to win against the Muntinlupa CAGERS. We have to check out the team standings, beginning with the South Division. Muntinlupa has been struggling, 11 straight losses for them. But as we always say, this team is peaking at this point of the season.
Yeah, they may be breaking through that hump that they are on right now in this game. They still have a chance of making the playoffs, definitely so. They still have 7 games left on their schedule, and Imus is just 2 wins away. So if they can win their next 2 or 3 games, they can have bump up Imus off that number 8 spot and maybe reach Bacoor for that 7th. A lot of things still very much to happen here for the Muntinlupa CAGERS in this campaign.
The schedule for Muntinlupa today, Quezon City, then they have Mindoro and Imus in 3 of their next 4 outtakes, so that's going to be very interesting. QC on the other end, they won 3 straight games and then they dropped their previous 3.
That's right, and yesterday they were in a tie with Valenzuela for the 6th and 7th spot, but right now QC is locked in at that 7th spot because of that loss yesterday against the Sarangani Marlins. So very important for QC to go back on that winning run, because sabi nga natin kahapon, we cannot reiterate it enough that the bottom 3 teams sa ilalim nila, which is Manila, Caloocan, and even maybe Marikina can still make a good chance of beating them to that 8th spot in the playoffs.
Well, Quezon City, they did lose to 3 tough teams here in the MPBL, Bacoor, Bacolod, and yesterday, the Sarangani Marlins, respectively. Tough schedule today. Ito yung isa sa mga sinasabi nating winnable games going up against Muntinlupa.
Yeah, but you know, itong sa Quezon City, they have to be able to play well right now in this game. They have to be consistent. They have to find a way of breaking that habit of slumping in the second half. Third quarter pa lamang kailangan na nila mag-start ng strong. And against the Sarangani Marlins, they also had that same predicament against Bacolod, where they were outscored almost the same total, 27-15 yesterday against the Sarangani Marlins in that third quarter. And you can see here the numbers on your screen from that game. Although QC was able to out-rebound Sarangani, they only got 12 second chance points off of those 25 offensive rebounds, and Sarangani practically they didn't have to do so much more because they dominated in most of the key statistics: field goals, fast break points, and 3 points. Yan talaga ang nag-start ng game para sa kanila.
It was a plus 19 for Sarangani in fast break points in that game. 21 turnovers as well given up by Quezon City. Question is, can they play a lot better today against the Muntinlupa CAGERS? Now, we mentioned for Muntinlupa, it was the 4th quarter in which Bacolod pulled away yesterday. Now, we do talk about the stars for this team: Domar Patiliano, John Catimbuhan, the return of Bac Montilla, and the re-emergence of Harold Arboleda. But then again, can this team do enough to actually click until the very end of the game?
Yeah, you know, Muntinlupa, they just really have to find a way to break out of that third quarter and enter the fourth quarter starting strong. They are not a weak lineup. They have the tools to be able to perform and be competitive. It's just that the inexperience coming into close games have haunted them in their past 3 matches. And Muntinlupa, definitely, they have to come over that hump to be able to win this game and end their losing streak. You can look at the numbers here from that game. Those numbers good, but not really good enough against Bacolod Bingo. Plus yesterday, all players that were fielded in by Coach Jules Hidalgo were able to score except for B-Boy Engio, who played 8 minutes in that game. And you know, you see here bench points, 56-48 lamang dyan ang Muntinlupa, which means that they are playing good team basketball. It's just that nakukulangan lang sila. Harold Arboleda was the top scorer with 11, Domark Matiliano with 11. That's just not going to cut it. Domark Matiliano has to be able to surpass his average of almost 18 points per game.
Monteliano is actually feeling under the weather yesterday, but he tells us that he is feeling better today. So tignan natin how Domark will be able to perform as we turn you over to Richard Campos for our starting lineups.
We're now on day 4 of Mindanao Invasion. Welcome to the first game of our doubleheader. It's Quezon City versus Muntinlupa. Magpadayon ta sa atong Kalipay Capital Gym. This is the OK Bet Manny Pacquiao's MPBL 4th season presented by Extreme. Here are the starters. First, for Quezon City, MG Cars. Starting at guard number 55, Kim Cinco. Power forward number 30, Jeric Napil. Starting at guard number 16, Levi De La Cruz. Playing center number 6, Kyle Napes. At forward number 1, Mel Mabigat. Quezon City MG Cars is led by Alvin Gray. Assistant coaches, Bam Ledesma, Tylon Darwan, Mong Basco, and Johan Dumlao. Team manager is Ryan Ripalda. Now the starting 5 for Muntinlupa, CAGERS. Starting at guard number 5, Patrick Garcia. One guard number 11, Mac Montilla. Coming in at center number 14, Ivan Villanueva. Power forward number 15, Justin Alano. Also at forward number 31, B-Boy Engio. Muntinlupa CAGERS head coach is Jules Hidalgo. Assisted by Vinci Salvador and Jason Libunao. Team managers Tristan Tahan. Referees for this ball game are Jobe.
Your starters for Quezon City and Muntinlupa, Levi De La Cruz, Kim Cinco, Kyle Napes, Mel Mabigat, and Jeric Nakpil for QC. And then we have Patrick Garcia, who started yesterday as well, alongside Mac Montilla, Ivan Villanueva, Justin Alano, and B-Boy Engio. Javi mentioned in the pregame that B-Boy Engio was the lone player who did not score for Muntinlupa yesterday. He did tell us that he has been struggling this season, and admittedly, he has yet to find his rhythm, as a turnover is recorded against Muntinlupa on the first play. But Javi, when it comes to B-Boy Engio, why is it that there's so much trust still given upon him by Coach Jules Hidalgo, and how do you think this guy can actually recover with this game here in the MPBL?
Well, Mix, the reason is because he has already invested in such a good career na hindi mo rin naman pwedeng baliwalain yung mga successes niya dito sa liga na to. He has been a winner in this league. He is an all-star caliber type of player. Hindi mo pwedeng tanggalin sa kanya yon basta-basta just because of his struggles here. And because of that, he will find a way to be able to conquer those struggles. It's just a matter of time. Yan na lang ang tanong para dito kay B-Boy Engio.
Remember, in 2019, folks, B-Boy Engio was an all-star caliber player here in the MPBL. He would even appear from time to time in the top 10 plays of the league because of his dunks, some of them coming from alley-oops. Now, Muntinlupa tried to go to him in the first 2 possessions, but both teams are still scoreless as Cinco misses his second attempt from 3.
It makes me also have to note that B-Boy started this season with an injury. It's never easy to come back from an injury, especially pag tumatanda ka na, no? It's always takes a step slower when you're coming from an injury, recovering. When you get older, it's not the same when you were younger.
Same case as well para kay Mac Montilla, who just scored the first 2 points of the ball game. As Levi De La Cruz fires for 3, no good. Engio's up ahead. Can he finally score here in Sarangani? And there it is.
Actually, this is the same thing that happened yesterday. Muntinlupa was trying to find B-Boy, and B-Boy was very aggressive in trying to look for his shots. But after those 3 attempts in that first quarter, hindi na talaga siya nag-try na humanap ng score in that game.
Only 8 minutes of play para kay B-Boy Engio. As Mel Mabigat, the oldest player in Quezon City, scores inside.
Really?
Yes, he is. He's the oldest player.
He doesn't look it.
Right. I mean, you see the body on Mel Mabigat as a turnover right here is committed by B-Boy Engio. Same goes for Marquis. Mel Mabigat eats properly, and he tells us that he thanks God for the creation of bikes in this world, because that was his activity as he scores once more during the pandemic. This guy would bike all the way from Marikina to Laguna and back.
That's crazy. I think even Marquis also, he also rides the bike in his spare time.
Bukod sa kanyang core workouts habang nagtututbrush. Ibang klase mga veterano dito sa MPBL. Montilla will miss. Rebound De La Cruz, whose family is actually watching at the sideline. Later on, we're going to see them as De La Cruz goes all the way for 2.
And because of that, I expect a spectacular game today from Levi De La Cruz, and I'm sure he learned from the previous losses that his team incurred on this trip. So, plus the learnings that he got from the veterans, as you see here, blowing by all the Muntinlupa CAGERS defenders and finishing over Pat Garcia.
Levi De La Cruz, this guy's from Davao. That's why he did not need to stay here in Jensen in the hotels. B-Boy Engio making a 3-point shot. He's off to a good start. Couple of turnovers to his name, but 2 baskets.
You know, Mix, it's always very good to see these players when we note about their struggles and for them to finally be able to conquer that. Very happy that B-Boy Engio has a good start to this game. Sana magtuloy-tuloy na.
He's staying aggressive ahead of the pack once more. B-Boy almost walked. They give it up to Alano. Muntinlupa slowing things down. Mac Montilla. No natural point guard here para sa Muntinlupa CAGERS. 8 on the shot clock. Garcia will miss. Patrick made 1-3 yesterday.
Played for almost 5 minutes, hindi na siya binalik ni Coach Joe Hidalgo in that game.
This mula kay Jeric Nakpil. Engio's up ahead once more. He looks very determined to keep on scoring in this game. Ball outside in favor of Muntinlupa.
Look at that, Mix. Another potential run out for the Muntinlupa CAGERS, and you see the bigs of QC just lagging behind. Only 1 to 2 guys trying to defend that fast break.
Sorry miss for Villanueva inside. Shot is too strong. 2-on-1. De La Cruz. Bounce pass. Mel Mabigat for 2.
At that time, QC giving Muntinlupa a dose of their own medicine in this game, with Levi De La Cruz scoring his 6th point of the game.
8-7 our score. Another sorry miss for Ivan. QC a chance to extend the lead after gaining it 8-7. Levi, another basket.
Both teams looking to quicken up the pace here early on. Every opportunity they're getting, they're pushing the basketball. And De La Cruz, 8 points in a hurry already.
Up and down we go, 10-7. Mac Montilla, his 3 goes in.
Now that's a good sign para dito sa Muntinlupa CAGERS. Montilla making his first attempt. Only was 2 out of 10 yesterday. 20% from the field for 5 points.
Kim Cinco answering back for Quezon City.
We're having a shootout here early on. Not much defense from both teams.
13-10. Under 5 minutes in the first. But again, if we're gonna wait for a quarter here, it will be the 4th quarter between Quezon City and Muntinlupa, in which both teams have struggled in their previous outings. There's that 3-point shot by Mac Montilla, and then the quick answer from Kim Cinco, who we have been talking about this guy for a couple of games already. One of those go-to shooters for Quezon City in this season. Our score 13-10, 4 minutes and 50.
rin ay nanonood ng OK Bet Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League live in Sarangani. Quezon City is a team on the rise, but tables have turned for this team for the past 6 games. Coach Juben Ledesma capitalized almost everyone in the roster but collapsed in the end. For him, it didn't really matter who started or ended the game. The only way things are going to change and go their way is for his guys to focus on what they have to do, embrace their roles. Pero magiging challenge sa kanila ang larong ito dahil hindi makakapaglaro sina Adrian Celada at Wawi Escosio. Mix and Javi?
Thank you, Sheila. Adrian Celada has a sprain on his leg. That's after scoring 17 points yesterday. Domar Quintiliano, too strong. Shot clock violation. Muntinlupa had some substitutions. Matiliano alongside Harold Arboleda. Freshly shaven in this game after celebrating his birthday yesterday. Pati si Steven Cudal. You know, as Sheila just reported, sayang lang na hindi natin makikita yung matchup between Cudal and Escosio.
Oh yeah, definitely. And also the matchup between Celada and Arboleda. Both were ace players during their time in the NCAA. Arboleda, of course, coming from the University of Perpetual Health. And Adrian Celada coming from the Arellano University. Segura trains a three-pointer. He did not play yesterday, was on the reserve list, now reactivated para dito kay Coach Juben Ledesma. One of the energy guys for QC.
16-10. Mac Montilla, no good. Rebound de la Cruz, up ahead. Entoy Segura. Quezon City just having a field day on the offensive end.
That is such a hard time para dito sa Muntinlupa as Levi de la Cruz and Entoy Segura in the backcourt. Tapos pinasok pa dito si Jenmar Bragais. What a fast lineup para dito sa QC on the floor.
We bring you this epic move of the game in partnership with OK Bet. Own the win. That's going to be an interesting duo for QC, Entoy Segura and Levi de la Cruz at the backcourt. Very uncharacteristic start here for the Muntinlupa Cagers. Very slow in this game. Lead has ballooned to 8 points. Let's talk about the numbers for QC and Muntinlupa.
Well, both teams scoring in the latter part of the 70s per game, but they're giving up a lot of points. So defense really the thing that both teams need to work on. Quezon City is ahead in the assist department, although Muntinlupa not really far behind. They're just -4 almost. QC has the better bench, 42.9 compared to 31.2 for the Cagers. But Muntinlupa yesterday displaying a good team effort, 56 bench points para sa kanila. So they're on a good run right now. They just really need to hack out that victory. Yun na lang ang kulang.
Justin Alano making a basket here off of that offensive rebound that he just gained. Alano yesterday 4 points and 3 rebounds to his name. Arboleda. Can Muntinlupa recover here after a slow start? Lead cut down to 6. There's a foul against QC.
Well, Mix, you know, Coach Jules Hidalgo has really changed his substitution pattern in the past couple of games at least. Yesterday, it was Troy Katimbuhan who was leading the show. Now he hasn't seen action yet in this game. And it seems to be Mac Montilla playing the point guard spot as Matiliano gets a knockout play inside. 2 points para sa kanya.
Question is, which lineup will work para kay Coach Jules? Remember, because of those injuries, dito pa lang sila, nagsasama-sama lahat. 100% healthy. And they're still trying to break their losing streak. Right now, it is 11 games. 18-14 our score. 2 minutes and 35 remaining in the opening quarter. Arboleda, bounce pass. Alano will miss. A chance for QC. And there you see that guard combination once more. Levi de la Cruz finding Entoy Segura.
Oh, no foul called on that strong attempt by Justin Alano. I thought he was hit there, but nevertheless, no transition defense para dito sa Muntinlupa and another run out on the break para kay Entoy Segura.
That seems to be a starting trend para sa QC. Can you just imagine if these two will develop so much chemistry, especially on the fast break?
Oh, this is definitely something to look forward to para sa kanila. and this will be a threat for other teams to defend. Imagine speed and the scoring threat. That's going to be a tough matchup para sa ibang teams.
20-14. Pass inside, tapped away by Asibar. Pasok dito si Kim Cinco. 5 seconds, baseline inbound.
Although the problem with that two-guard lineup is they are going to be a liability on the defensive end. Other teams might want to post them up to exploit that advantage.
Segura on the drive. Ball tapped away. That's off of Ken Asibar. And you know, you bring up a great point because they're even training Kentoy Segura to be a point guard as well. We mentioned him being the guy learning from Marcy Arellano. And if you see them size-wise, mas maliit talaga. And they even have a Jenmar Bragais and a Kim Cinco playing the 3. Pass inside. Matiliano on the fade. That's good.
He loves that shot, that fadeaway jumper on the baseline. Ito si Domart Matiliano.
4 points so far para kay Domart Matiliano. Kim Cinco. Now he's catching fire here in the first.
This is one guy that they have to get going. He has struggled in this whole Mindanao invasion para dito sa QC. Once was averaging double figures in a stretch of games para sa kanilang kupunan.
Kim Cinco, 0 out of 1 yesterday from the field. Domart Matiliano making another basket. Lead is 5 points, 23-18. Under 1 minute here in the first. Segura, no good. Rebound. That's in favor of Quezon City. That's an interesting matchup right there between Eugene Madera and Chris Menges. Two players with almost the same body build.
I still believe Chris Menges has that advantage over Eugene Madera, having the ability to score the basketball and put the ball on the floor. Although Madera has a good perimeter jumper, he's more relied upon on the defensive end para sa Muntinlupa.
23-18. We still haven't seen Marcy Arellano in this game. And remember, there's no Adrian Celada at wala ring Huawei Escocio for QC as reported by Sheila Salaysay. Steven Cudal. Rebound Cinco. QC is running once more. Jenmar, he likes this. And he will go to the line.
Had a lot of opportunities to do that yesterday against Sarangani. But I thought a lot of those opportunities were forcing the issue para dito kay Jenmar Bragais, not really reading the situation well enough, which resulted in a lot of turnovers para sa kanilang team.
This free throw is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Jenmar Bragais from the line, 1 out of 4 yesterday, but we have talked about this guy's struggle from the stripe in this week alone. Good for him to make those free throws. 25-18. No more shot clock. Arboleda. They go to Matiliano at the right side. Game clock reading 10 seconds. Domark will fire. No good. One more chance here for QC, but Kim Cinco will throw the ball away.
Not a good decision right there by Kim Cinco. He was waiting for Wong to be available for that pass, but he had Bragais at his front.
Last 1 second. Arboleda has to fire. Partially blocked by Jenmar Bragais. And that will conclude our first quarter play here in our last day in Sarangani. The Muntinlupa CAGERS, they trail by 7 points. Quezon City able to capitalize, especially on the fast break.
Well, it's funny because Muntinlupa was the one running on the break to start this game, and we also noted the poor transition defense para dito sa QC, especially their bigs lagging behind to defend the transition attack of the CAGERS. But upon the entry of Kentoy Segura, connived with Levy de la Cruz to be able to start the transition attack for the white shirts, and they were able to build a 7-point advantage, 25-18 as we go into the second quarter.
There you see our MPBL treasurer, Ryan Tapetran, as well as Camille QUEZON. Always present every Saturday here sa Liga ng Bawat Pilipino. Today we come to you live from the Sarangani Capital Gym. Our last day in the Sarangani province in what has been an eventful week for Happy Palanya, Sheila Salaysay, and the rest of the production team.
Of course, for you as well.
Of course, for me. Kamusta ang experience mo?
Oh, it has been a very great experience. The food, the views, everything, the people are so nice as well.
Right.
It has been a very great trip here to Jensan, and I wish we could get back and experience it once again.
Can I just give a shout out to the receptionist in the Del Suites where we are staying at? That guy, I mean, was very accommodating, giving us
Super.
everything we want. We have multiple towels, bed sheets, and everything in our room.
He doesn't even think twice. He
Right.
just says yes right away.
Yes. Ken Asibar making a basket. And a shout out to the people as well. Iba, first time ko maranasan, Habi, yung kasabwat ng mga kaibigan at ng mga mahal ko sa buhay, yung receptionist at yung mga tao sa hotel to celebrate my birthday. That was very surprising as Domark Matiliano makes a three-point shot here. A very important basket for Muntinlupa to try to jumpstart their second frame.
That's right. Jumpstart is the right term because they seem to be a car na nadiskargahan dito. And right now, Matiliano trying to give them energy. That's a good pass.
Eugene Madera will proceed to the line. It's 27-21. Is there a specific player for Muntinlupa that you would like to see have a great game today?
It's really Domark Matiliano, Migs, because I feel those 11 points, that's really not going to cut it if you're the go-to guy of this CAGERS squad. With the other guys on a slump, Mac Montilla, B-Boy Engyo, Harold Arboleda has started to find his stride, but Domark Matiliano, he has to continue on what he started on in this season, which was go on a scoring rampage every game, because this also opens up a lot of opportunities for the other guys to come and contribute. Now he will have to become a playmaker when that happens, but we've seen him in that kind of role. He's able to pass the ball when needed. So Domark Matiliano, he has to at least match his average or surpass that in this game.
17.4 points per game. Number 4 in the league in scoring. That's Domark Matiliano. And if our fans have noticed it, there have been games wherein when Domark Matiliano is leading the team in scoring, more likely than not, it's going to be a close game, a tight one. Obviously, they have an 11-game losing streak, but a lot of those games came down the wire.
Exactly. So let's see if this will be the case in this match. Domark Matiliano, he now has 9 points, 1 rebound and 1 assist.
Well on pace to surpass his average, 27-22. We're seeing Marcy Arellano, John Cantimbuhan, and Marlon Monte for the first time here in the second quarter. Bounce pass, tapped away. Monte was not ready for it. Counter steal. Where will the spark come from para sa Muntinlupa in the second quarter? Cantimbuhan. Shot clock reading 14. Crossover. That's a great move. Kick out. Matiliano. 2 dribbles. Pull up is good and he's up to double figures.
He has just really mastered that pull-up jump shot. Whenever he's able to make the separation from his defender and he finds himself wide open, more often than not, he will be able to knock that down.
And remember, Domark Matiliano used to play for Navotas, just one of the role players for their team. When he came to Muntinlupa in their training camp, everyone was surprised and impressed with his improvement, which has surely reflected in his numbers this season. There's a hacking foul against Harold Arboleda.
Well, that's just a testament to his work ethic. You see naman how he takes care of his body, how he's very well conditioned, and despite being under the weather, still came up with a relatively good performance. But if you are Domark Matiliano, that is just not gonna cut it.
Is that the same logic for Michael Jordan in his flu game that wala siyang choice but to perform very well?
Definitely. That's just being the professional in a player. And because their logic is people come out to watch them. Some first time nila mapanood, and minsan wala nang ibang chance mapanood sila ng live, so they have to be able to give a good performance game in and game out.
Right. And again, this is a rare time that we are in Sarangani. Only the second time in the season. Third time in history. Pass inside, almost another turnover. Kudal with the board. Steven Kudal, wala pa rin. 3-point lead here for QC. Arellano. By the way, Marcy Arellano yesterday had 16 rebounds and 12 assists, but he only scored 2 points. It was Kit Jimenez who got his first MPBL triple-double.
Oh, could have been very intriguing if Marcy also got that triple-double. At 16 rebounds, that's a crazy feat for a guard. We all know how great a rebounding guard Marcy Arellano is. He has been that way ever since his days with the UE Red Warriors in college. As Muntinlupa is really starting to catch fire here. 14 points now in this game after that trifecta.
So it looks like nakapagpahinga na ng maayos si Domark Muntinlupa. Tying this game out 27-all. More than half of the points of Muntinlupa have come from their leading scorer. This 3-point shot is brought to you by Extreme One-Stop Shop Appliances. Surpassing his 11-point performance yesterday, well on pace to surpass his 17.4 points per game in this season. Domark Muntinlupa feeling very good in day number 2 here in Sarangani. Harold Arboleda on his birthday yesterday almost had a triple-double as well. 5 assists short, 11 points and 11 rebounds.
It's good to see Harold Arboleda somehow regain his form. He is the leader here para dito sa Muntinlupa. CAGERS being one of the most experienced players on this squad. He has had PBA experience and he knows how to be able to compete here in the MPBL. Great all-around player. Guy who can pass the ball, rebound the basketball, can play multiple positions and defend multiple positions as well.
And Javi, as we celebrated Arboleda's birthday yesterday, batiin naman natin ang happy 6th birthday si Kuya KV Calder Vin Ocfemia. Pinapabati ka ni Brother AG, Mama Teresa, Lola Rosie, and Papa Jobet, who is one of our referees in this game. Now let's go to Sheila Salaysay.
Yes, Mix. Though the CAGERS have worked together, the result was still unfavorable to them. Sabi ni Coach Julio Tidago, nakapaghanda sila bago pa makarating dito sa Sarangani, but it will still boil down to mindsetting and how his players respond. Though effort is evident and teamwork is present, kinakapos pa din sila sa dulo. Alam nilang mas veterano ang QC at kailangan nila maging agresibo para makontain ang shooters at matapatan ang energy ng mga to. Balik sa inyo.
Well, that aggressiveness has reflected here in the second quarter, just not in the previous play. You know, Ivan Villanueva's having a weird game. A couple of misses in point-blank range for him. 28-27. Villanueva will look to bounce back. He gets the board. 5 minutes and 20 in the second quarter. This is Quezon City's 4th game in this week alone. Muntinlupa's second, as they were not a part of that pair of 4 matches held in Jensen. Arboleda at the corner, no good. Rebound Nakpil.
There's also one guy that I feel should be more aggressive in looking for his shot. Ito si Troy Katimbuhan. At that time, attacking the lane with an indecision to either score the basketball or pass it, was able to find Harold Arboleda on that left corner. But I feel like he has to look for his shots more to be able to open up the lanes on the defensive end ng kabilang kupunan.
How about Ken Asibar making a jump shot? It's rare to see big men connect from mid-range in this league. John Katimbuhan has something to say about that. He answers back with a 3 of his own.
Right on cue, just as we were pointing out that Katimbuhan needs to be looking for his shot. Knocks down a three-pointer right there. He had 9 points only yesterday. Should be able to score more, but he did have 8 assists.
Jeric Nakpil, too strong. Nakpil was feeling confident yesterday with that mid-range shot as he scored 13 points.
Rarely misses from that area, actually. Anytime you give him that daylight, he'll be able to knock it down.
Bounce pass. Villanueva, another sorry miss.
Oh, those are shots that he usually makes.
Very uncharacteristic game para kay Ivan Villanueva. 0 out of 5 from the field. 30 all. 3 minutes and 30. Marcy against Katimbuhan. Arellano taking his time. Shot clock reading 4. Tapped away in favor of QC.
Now, this is something that Marcy Arellano hasn't been able to do in their past 3 games here on this Mindanao trip. It's posting up the opposing guards of the other squads. It's because the other teams that they battled, lagi sila may panapat sa height ni Marcy Arellano. And Troy Katimbuhan actually, not really, actually he's taller than Marcy Arellano.
But Marcy looks bulkier than him.
That's right.
30 all. Katimbuhan calling the play. A breakout season for him with the loss of Argel Mendoza. Here's Ivan Villanueva. They go to Katimbuhan. Cross. 6 on the shot clock. Kick out. Alba for 3. No good. Vincent Alba had a great field day yesterday. Couple of points to his name. More specifically, 9 points on 3 threes.
And we were talking about how he was very confident about his shooting. He really works on it. And I'm very happy to see he's aggressive in finding that opening for that 3-point shot. Gave them lots of glimpses of hope in that game yesterday.
7 on the shot clock. Napes, they go to Marcy. He will fire. No good. Arellano has struggled in this gym. Yesterday, he was 1 out of 7.
3-point shot, not really his cup of tea. Historically, he hasn't shot it well from that range. Always was a guy who was able to break down his defender and find points inside that shaded area.
30 all. 2 minutes and 15 before halftime. Villanueva. For retribution. Ivan finally scores.
Oh, they really isolated him on that low block on that left side. No cuts, just him backing down his defender and scoring the 2 points.
First 2 points in the ball game for Ivan Villanueva alongside his 6 rebounds. Remember, that guy scored 26 2 games back against Pasig City. Kick out. Arboleda back to Ivan. Size advantage for him. The post. Spin. Miss that time and a foul on the loose ball.
Alves coming out of nowhere. Quezon City dropping down into a zone upon receipt of Ivan Villanueva on that post area. This time from the opposite side from where he scored previously.
Pasok dito, Mac Montilla para palitan si Harold Arboleda.
B-Boy Engyo hasn't checked back into the game ever since his good start. He had 5 points in this game.
Right. They were looking for him at the start of this game. A lot of touches. Pass inside. That's too low for Koy Alves.
And it has been up and down for Ivan Villanueva. Actually, more of the down para sa kanya in this game. A turnover para sa kanya, which adds to his woes.
Arellano commanding things. Justin Delfinado, his first appearance in this game. Kyle Napes, oh, that's tough. And remember, that same thing happened in Jensen that resulted into a tweaked, a sprained left ankle para kay Kyle Napes.
That's almost the same spot that happened.
Right, sa gitna. This time just a little bit to the right. Kyle Napes, as you mentioned yesterday, Javi, still not 100%. As this free throw is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. It's always tough to play with a sprained ankle, but that's just how much Quezon City needs Kyle Napes. Emer Oreta, ang ating Head of Basketball Operations. Commissioner Kenneth Duremdes and Head of Security Rudy Distrito present at the sidelines.
And itong si Kyle Napes, you could really see the struggles in him yesterday. Wasn't able to hit his usual shots. He was left wide open a number of times, but still managed to score 6 points and pull down 7 rebounds. And usually a good free throw shooter.
Napes has been getting double-doubles here and there in the season. Just bothered by injuries and a couple of days where he felt under the weather. Blocked by Menges, but a foul against Marcy before that.
Katimbuhan calling for the screen and roll with Ivan Villanueva on that right flank. Decides not to use the pick. Blows by Marcy Arellano with that quick crossover. And Marcy left no choice but to foul him.
That has been a successful move in this day. Para kay John Katimbuhan, across to the right. Koy Alves, length advantage. You know, if you look at the build of Koy Alves, I think you can imagine how much he weighs, no? Kasi hindi naman siya ganun kabigat. Pero ang haba, no? The wingspan to add to it as well.
Yeah, that's right. Yan ang mga tipo ng player na masarap pasahan talaga ng drop pass. You know, you just go inside the lane, find your big man, Koy Alves, because of his length. Kahit ibato mo lang minsan sa taas, maaabot niya eh.
This guy, one of the versatile players for Muntinlupa, started the season as a big guy, a 4 and a 5. And then there have been games where he was utilized as a 3. Right now he's a 4, working alongside Ivan Villanueva. But here you see our PGO Sports Development Division and the rest of the working committee. They're upstairs, making sure that everything is going well here in Sarangani. 34-31, Muntinlupa able to regain the lead after being in control in the first quarter as Jason Delfinado scores his first basket.
Oh, on the initial try, he went for that floater, which he really hasn't had ever since. But worked hard enough to clean up his own mess. Now has a chance for an end-one opportunity.
So as his former teammate, anong favorite aspect mo sa laro ni Jason Delfinado?
He's always had that mid-range jumper, even as a big man in high school. That has been one of his good attributes. 15 to 17 feet, sure ball siya dyan.
34-33, Katimbuhan, tough drive, and he will go to the line for 2.
Very happy to see Katimbuhan look for his shot, that time challenging the defense despite 2 QC defenders going at him on that attempt. Still managed to fish for the foul. Good fishing expedition para sa kanya.
Well, we are in Sarangani, where a lot of fishing happens every day.
I did not intend for that to happen, actually.
Katimbuhan is number 9 in the league in minutes per game at 29 per outing. Number 6 in assists at 5.8. And number 10 in field goal shooting at 45.6%. Timeout dito ang Quezon City. You know, this team, Javi, they were in control in the first quarter after being down in the first minute. But Muntinlupa able to recover here in the second. It did not happen with a big momentum swing, but slowly but surely it worked for them.
Well, you know, Migs, makikita mo dito sa QC, in their body language, the fatigue really setting in para sa kanila. And I don't blame them. It's really not easy to play 4 games in, 5 days?
Right.
And you could see here the next 3 games on their schedule. Also,
not
an easy task ahead of them. Batangas City Embassy Chill, Zamboanga Families Brand Sardines, and Val City. All 3 teams very, very dangerous, especially the first 2 who are both at the top of the standings.
That is going to be an interesting story for Quezon City. They win 3 straight games. They've lost 3 straight already, all of the games here in Sarangani. And if they lose today, they're going to go up against those 3 teams that you just saw on the graphic. Could be a 7-game losing streak after that stretch. But of course, they're not going to want to make that happen. Right now, a big chance for them to get this victory with 8 seconds. remaining before halftime. Alley-oop, beautiful feed. Marcy Arellano finding Chris Menguez.
I'm pretty sure that wasn't the play that they drew up. They wanted to locate Marlon Monte on that cut. But Marcia Arellano displaying his basketball IQ, which is really superior to a lot of the players here in the league. Found Chris Menguez on that breakdown. Impressive play to end the quarter, but this guy, Domar Patiliano, really caught fire, especially in the second quarter.
Domar Patiliano, we talked about him, 11 points in the previous outing, but we need more from him. He averages 17.4 points per game, number 4 in the league in terms of scoring, well on pace today to try to surpass that. The score is 36-35 as we give you our top 10 plays here in the MPBL. That's Sara looking ahead. That's Sara all the way, but he's blocked by Ballesteros. How about that guy's effort to chase down? Kitang-kita ninyo. He ran the floor, good anticipation, rejecting that Sara.
Sabi ni Jason King, kalabaw lang daw yung tumatanda.
Matias, spinning middle, out of control, baseball pass at si Inigo. Touchdown, James Martinez.
Laging may trader eh. Laging stop nila eh.
Look at that pretty pass, like a quarterback throwing it to his running back for the touchdown. Inigo to Martinez.
Bolsanga had multiple Best Player of the Game awards as soon as Kid Jimenez went down. Jimenez gets the seal, bounce pass to Sanga. Layup is good.
Displaying that against Bolsanga. Here's the steal here. Those long arms of the law bothering that pass by Joshua Gonzalez and dropping it off at the last moment kay Bolsanga. Katembuan, will he push? Ooh, what a bounce pass there by Engio on the hoop and the harm. Para kay Biboy Engio. What a pass right there by John Katembuan. So good, you have to see it twice. Look at that pass. A slick one delivered by Biboy Engio. We bring you this epic move of the game in partnership with OKBet. With OKBet, hold the win.
Another three in front of Coach Louis Gonzalez, but to no avail. Steal here, Jason Grimaldo. Look out, there you go, a slam from Jason Grimaldo. Take a look at it once more. The center getting a steal. Clear pass to the rim, going up for that one-handed slam to the delight of the Zamboanga bench again.
Score effort from Sarangani, allowing Olivares to come up with the offensive rebound. And here Jimenez, all nylon on that three-point shot.
12 points, 6 rebounds. Take a look at that three-point shot by Kit Jimenez. He likes this, stopping and popping for three.
In rhythm, set for the shot.
You want to talk about him being back in the MPBL? Folks, he is back here in the MPBL. Robbie, met up top. They go to Ballesteros. Balik kay Manalang, and Robbie with a big-time three. Answering back with a three-point shot of his own, pakontra kay James Castro. And this guy, he has been that lone, consistent shooter in this match for Pasig City.
With Manalang, okay, off that diamond elevator sideline inbound play. Boom.
Good steal, Rudy Langanay. It's John Valoria ahead of the pack. Good fake.
Konting take lang. Babay talaga ang depensa. Let's look at that again. Did this earlier, but now from a farther angle and on a fall away. So good, you have to see it twice. Look at that. Two defenders up in the air para kay John Valoria.
Almost the same thing. Just like last week. Yung last week lang punta sa ganyan si Espiric here. Lastimosa has the basketball. On his return, he delivers a clutch shot.
Welcome back, Carlo Lastimosa.
Wow, what a way for you to return from a hamstring injury. Carlo Lastimosa, from the very beginning of this ball game, he was the focal point of the offense, as we pointed out. And now in the clutch, they go to him, a step back, and he puts it in for two.
Big time player, big time basket.
72-66. Back to Gonzalez. They go to Ablaza. Catching fire. Bombs away.
The three-point shot proving to be the weapon of choice para sa Batangas City Embassy Chill in this last couple of possessions. An unlikely hero in Mark Cruz, able to drain it from straight away. And Cedric Ablaza, someone who they have been relying on game in and game out, getting a three-point shot from that right corner.
16 points and 10 rebounds for Cedric Ablaza, who brings us his epic move of the game in partnership with OK Bet.
At eto na mga kaliga, halftime na. Fresh ka pa ba? Samahan niyo ako maghanap ng Jinky Beauties. Kapag nais pata ng ating live cam, kumaway-kaway na kagad. Come on, don't be shy. Pagkakataon nyo ito na ma-discover. Who knows? Meron tayong mga talent scout na nag-iikot-ikot. Alright? Gumamit ng Jinky Beauty Skin para laging fresh at ma-beauty.
We're back here in the Sarangani Capital Gym, all the way from Sarangani Province. Day number 4, the last day of your Bisman invasion for this week. Just for this week, because next week we will be in Zamboanga. Patuloy po ang paglalakbay ng Liga ng Bawat Pilipino. First game at hand, the Quezon City MG Cars going up against the Muntinlupa CAGERS QC. They were in control in the first frame because of fast break opportunities, but Muntinlupa slowly but surely able to regain their composure and the lead in the second.
Yeah, QC shot at a very high clip, especially in that first quarter. That's why they're still at 37% right now, while limiting Muntinlupa to only 31%, 13 out of 41. Only one more attempt for QC made in this game in that first half. Inside points dominated by the white shirt, 16-10, but bench points once again, Muntinlupa +4 in that department, leading the opposing team. We have to note once again, makes that Muntinlupa had 56 points yesterday in that loss against Bacolod, but fast break points here have been on the favor of QC, 12-2.
Now, we are still entering, or we are just entering the second half, which for sure things will be more interesting for these two teams as they have struggled in the second half the past couple of games. Domar Patiliana currently leading the way with 14 points, well on pace to surpass the season average. The other end, it's Kentoy Segura, Mel Mabigat, Kim Cinco, and Ken Asibar leading the way for Quezon City. Third quarter about to begin in your first game of your MPBL Saturday here in the Sarangani Capital Gym. Later on, Kit Jimenez, fresh off getting a triple-double yesterday against QC, and the Sarangani Marlins will be defending their home court against the Bacolod Bingo Plus, who on the other end are slowly gaining their momentum once more after back-to-back wins against Quezon City and Muntinlupa respectively. Mix Gomez at your service, and also Javi Palanya and Sheila Salaysay. Third quarter tayo. As for Muntinlupa, they begin with Harvey Quinto, Domar Patiliano, Coy Alves, Steven Cudal, and they have a new guy on the floor. That is John Sarmiento, one of their homegrowns. On the other end, it's Mel Mabigat, Kyle Napes, Jeric Nakpil, Kentoy Segura, and Levi de la Cruz. Napes looks hurt as he got hit on his left elbow, but he seems to be okay now. Kentoy Segura will fire, no good. Rebound Matiliano, and a foul given up by De La Cruz.
Duty foul there given up by Levy to stop the impending fast break for the Muntinlupa CAGERS. QC, they're doing a better job of taking care of the ball in this game. They gave up 21 turnovers yesterday, but Sarangani was only able to convert them into 15 turnover points. Although the Marlins, they didn't really have to do a lot of those because of their hot shooting from three-point country.
Fast break opportunity, Levi de la Cruz on the catch off of that basket mula kay Steven Cudal, and now Jeric Nakpil is fouled inside. Now, Navi, I want to ask you this. Dahil nakita natin yung duty foul kanina ni Levi de la Cruz, as you take a look at this replay, Harvey Quinto finding their big guy, Steven Cudal, inside. Nakpil will go to the line. First one is good. Jeric Nakpil staying consistent here in Sarangani after scoring 13 points in their previous game. This free throw is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kumpletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Back to my question, is there a right way to do a duty foul? Because remember, sometimes intentional fouls are called as unsportsmanlike.
Well, definitely it should be a play for the basketball. Ganun lang naman talaga dapat. If you are not going for the ball, that is when our referees will decide to think of calling an unsportsmanlike foul.
So dapat it has to look like susundot ka para sa bola.
Yes, that's right. Hindi pwede yung hahawakan mo lang tapos pipigilan mo lang ng takbo.
Kasi dati niyayaka pa mga players
Yes.
and it was legal. As we turn you over to Sheila Salaysay.
Nang malaman ni Domark na siya ang number 4 leading scorer ng liga, napangiti lang siya at sinabi na yun ang resulta ng hard work niya. Maniniwala ba kayo sa college basketball formally natuto ng sistema si Domark? Kumbaga late bloomer din siya tulad ng kanyang iniidolo na si Don Reverente. Don Reverente inspired Domark on being a hardworking player, and the mindset of this marine engineering grad is to step up, contribute, and continue to play his role in the team. Migs and Javi?
Thank you, Sheila. That's a great report. Because first of all, I don't know if you can see it, but somehow I'm seeing a resemblance.
They do have a striking resemblance. Ang kaibahan lang kaliwete ito si Domark Matiliano. And the hair might be a little different. Yung medyo pa one side yung buhok ni Domark Matiliano. There's the foul there by Domark.
Trying to contest that it was a clean block.
Medyo pa one side yung buhok niya eh. Si Don Reverente kasi talagang nakataas eh.
But you know, the body type.
Oh yeah.
I wonder if may interest din si Don or Domark Matiliano na sumali sa Navy, because that's where Don Reverente also works. Sheila mentioned that he's a graduate of, is that marine engineering? Wow, he's an engineering student. Must be very smart.
That's not an easy course.
Right. Anything engineering is very hard. 39-38, Montiliano getting the contact.
And you always love to hear it when basketball players are able to finish their degree. We all know that basketball is not a forever thing, and at some point you're gonna have to give it up, right? Always nice to have something to fall back to.
That's why there are players na kapag natapos yung basketball careers nila, they would actually study again.
Go back to school yung mga di nakatapos.
Tama, because they need it. Remember,
and not just here, also in the States.
Right, players like Shaquille O'Neal, Steph Curry recently graduated.
Yeah, that's right.
Shaquille O'Neal, by the way, is Dr. Shaquille O'Neal. He has a PhD. As you take a look at the replay, Jerick McPhail, aggressive drive. You know, that's a challenge in basketball, Javi. Very underrated conversation. Because your bodies will peak at 20, 30, then usually nagsha-shut down na yan by 40 years old.
That's right. That's why it's always very impressive to see guys who are already in their late 30s going into their 40s. Guys like Marky, who is already in his 40s, still playing at a very high level. And that's just a testament to how great you take care of your body.
Oh, that's a tough fadeaway. John Sarmiento making a shot. Oh, someone's down. It's Koy Alves. Muntinlupa bench pointing to him to try to stop the play. But the referees can only stop it once Muntinlupa has possession.
I think Muntinlupa, they're trying to argue that it was a closed fist to the left side of his body, and Koy Alves is still grimacing in pain here, lying on the floor.
Who gave it to him? Oh, it's Napes. Okay, now that's actually not a good thing because Kyle Napes somewhat did something similar in the first half at napabayaan yun. Hindi nakita ng mga referees natin. Koy Alves actually reacted to him in the first half. So there must be something happening between these two in this game. Napes has to be careful. He has already lost a lot of action because of injuries.
Yeah, it might lose action due to a suspension or being thrown out in this game. However, I think this is going to merit only an unsportsmanlike foul. Not really much of an ejection. As it was a play to the body of Koy Alves at di naman above the shoulder.
You know, at the same time, one can wonder kung ano ba yung ginagawa ni Koy Alves kay Kyle Napes that will prompt him to act accordingly.
Well, you know, Koy Alves, he is the type of player to be very pesky
For Koy Alves.
against the people guarding him, especially yung kulit niya on the boards, just being very aggressive in leaping for those rebounds. Just his length actually really bothers you. Na hindi ka naman ganun kalaki yung katawan, payat ka lang, and you would think na kayang-kaya mo lang itulak or put out of position. But he is definitely a strong guy for his build.
41 to 40. Warning lang ang ibinigay. Nothing too drastic. Quinto's in trouble. He has been receiving that pressure from Quezon City all the way from the backcourt, and it ends up with 2 points for Mel Mabigat.
That's the problem when you don't have Troy Katimbuhan on the floor. Good move there by QC to pressure in the backcourt, which resulted indeed to a turnover and another run out. Fast break points once again para sa QC. This time it's Mel Mabigat finishing that play para sa kanila.
That was their bread and butter in the first quarter that allowed them to have their biggest lead of 9 points in this game. Take a short break, 43 to 40 our score. There you see some soldiers here in Sarangani. 7 minutes and 19 in the third frame. Muntinlupa now trailing by 3 points against Quezon City. Ball outside. Mabalik ang bola sa QC.
And right away after the timeout, Coach Jules Hidalgo makes the adjustment, inserts Troy Katimbuhan back into the lineup. However, Alano couldn't take the heat of that pass. Back-to-back turnovers para sa Muntinlupa CAGERS.
Mabigat. They go to the corner. Swing it over to De La Cruz. Levy will fire and score.
That has been something that he has been unsuccessful doing, that three-point shot. He has attempted a lot of those in yesterday's game, but I don't think he made any and gets the first in this game.
You know, just before this week, as Justin Alano makes a basket inside, Levy De La Cruz was a part of the top 10 in terms of three-point shooting percentage here in the MPBL.
He was 1 out of 6 yesterday.
Nakpil, mid-range, no good. Rebound belongs to Sarmiento. This quarter looking like what happened in the first frame. Balik na si Katimbuhan to take care of that basketball. Remember, no Argel Mendoza because of a knee injury that will keep him out of the season. Matiliano, mid-range, no good. Leaking ahead. Oh, that's a beautiful move by Kentoy Segura.
Gliding to the basket, itong si Kentoy Segura for the 2 points. Now 11 markers in this game for the lefty. In Quezon City, they're starting to pull away here, now up by 6 points.
Ivan. Great recognition by QC on the defensive end as you take a look at the replay. Again, the fast break opportunities. That's where Quezon City has been taking advantage.
And this is a surprise shuffle of players here for me para dito sa QC. These three guys are playing really well. At least the duo of Kentoy Segura and Levy De La Cruz. But suddenly, Coach Bam Ledesma inserts Marlon Monte, Kim Cinco, and Ken Asibar into the game.
48-42. Can they keep the energy alive here for QC? Marlon Monte. Lineup is more experienced, as I should say. Don't want to say it's older for Quezon City, because on paper they really are older compared to the previous 5.
That's a word that we should refrain from using.
Halfway through the third, Muntinlupa down by 6 after being up by 1 to start the second half. Ivan Villanueva against Ken Asibar. Villanueva, layup is good, basket and 1.
And you see the sigh of relief on his face after he made that basket. He has had numerous misses from that area. And they're getting the best of that matchup against the much taller Ken Asibar, using his heft and his body to be able to manufacture those 2 points.
Violation, substitute free throw for Ivan Villanueva.
Lane violation. One more chance here for Evan Villanueva. Can he be consistent for Muntinlupa? That's good. Great for him to be able to bounce back after missing his first 5 shots in this game. Mabigat tapped away. Now he goes inside. Ooh. Asibar could not convert. Ball will remain here with Muntinlupa.
Good stop there for the Cagers to be able to maybe tie this game or come within 1. So far, so good actually for both teams. They're keeping in step with each other. Far cry from their efforts in their previous matches. For QC especially, where the third quarter has been their bane.
4 minutes and 19. 8 on the shot clock. Good steal by Kim Cinco. Marlon Monte running the floor. It looks like they're still on a roll here in the third.
Oh, that decision by Katimbuhan proved to be costly para sa kanila. He asked for that isolation. Pinatabi niya si Ivan Villanueva, but was a little too fancy on that attempt, which resulted in a turnover and easy 2 points for QC.
And how about Marlon Monte answering to the call na inupo yung mga bata, pero siya naman ang tatakbo.
That's how you do it. You show your coach that you are capable of sustaining the energy. That's also a good pass by Kim Cinco. And Marlon Monte just beating Harold Arboleda and Katimbuhan to the basket on that occasion.
Chris Menges checking back in for Jeric Nakpil. Fast break scoring. That's the story of the game. 18-2 plus 16, spending a 5-point difference in this matchup. Montilla will fire. No good, way off. And that's a shot clock violation.
Now we were noting the fatigue that QC was showing in this game during the first half, but right now we're seeing it from Muntinlupa. They're kind of just going through the motions at this point of the game. Let's see if the entry of Mac Montilla and Arboleda can inject some life into the purple shirts in this game.
Remember, in the second quarter, they got the lead as Domark Matiliano started scoring in tons. But that is not the case so far here in the third quarter.
Well, Matiliano hasn't scored since. Only 14 points in this game. That was all in the first half.
And the second leading scorer is Ivan Villanueva, who has 5 points.
As well as that guy, Mac Montilla.
You know, Javi, there's one thing that I observed with the statistics of players in this season. A lot of them have been giving us scares or yung mga patikim na magkakaroon sila ng triple-double. They're well on pace. Usually at halftime, just couldn't finish. Because halftime in this game, Mac Montilla had 5 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. That's on pace for a triple-double. And then Levy de la Cruz as well, 4 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists.
What a very good observation, Mix. And you know, that's always very impressive, especially for a 40-minute game. In the NBA, with the talent level that they have and the time that they have, it's a 48-minute match sa kanila. So talagang ang daming oras para to collect these stats. And with the usage rate a lot of the star players have in the NBA, that's really something that has been common, I must say. Pero dito, pag 40 minutes, talagang mahirap to get that number.
It's an 8-minute difference, which is almost another quarter. And do you think Marcy Arellano has something to do with that?
Maybe, maybe not. It might be also the influence of one Russell Westbrook.
Pwede. The global influence. And man, the triple doubles in the NBA, it's crazy.
Oh,
From
yeah.
point guards to centers.
Oh, yeah.
Pang klase.
And you know how Filipinos really, maybe actually more unconsciously, pattern our games after the NBA players.
Yeah. Recently, yesterday, Kit Jimenez scored his first MPBL triple-double against Marcy Arellano as Harold Arboleda makes a three-point shot, his first in this ball game.
A big basket right there para sa Muntinlupa and for Harold as well. That's his first 3 points of this game.
Isa pa yan, si Harold Arboleda, a lot of games where he almost got triple-doubles as Marlon Monte answers back for QC.
Both teams are exchanging baskets right now. Marlon Monte with a quiet 7 points already. And I believe a bulk of those in this quarter.
54-49. There's a kick out, but a foul before that. Penalty na. So free throws tayo dito para sa Muntinlupa. Take a look at the first 3 points of the ball game for Harold Arboleda. And then the answer mula kay Marlon Monte. Remember, Arboleda had 11 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists yesterday. And before that, he had another double against Pasig City that included 18 rebounds on his stat line. Free throws converted by Mac Montilla.
Oh, Montilla has been struggling from the line in this season, only 33.3%.
Marlon Monte, on the other end, is feeling it for Quezon City.
Marlon Monte already breaking into double figures in this game. I haven't seen him scoreless like this in a while.
Right. But remember, when he was still with Pasig City, but that was back in the Datu Cup, he was one of those go-to scorers. Pasig Pirates po sila nun.
Well, it's always hard to be able to transfer from another team, especially when you have that kind of role in your previous squad. Here's that three-point shot by Marlon Monte, specialty of the house. Rattles that one in. And right now, he's with a team that has a lot of experienced players as well. Marami ring mga inaasahan. And sometimes the substitution pattern not really to his favor.
And if you look at this Quezon City team on paper, they have a deep guard lineup or deep guard rotation. Kaya hindi mo rin talaga alam kung sino yung maglalaro, sino yung mabababad in every game.
And I think, you know, that really, that pressure falls on the shoulders of Coach Bam Ledesma, be able to shuffle his players and try to give them equal opportunity, which I do believe you can never be able to give them equal opportunities because that is a team with so much players, so much talent, especially at that guard position. So meron talaga, you cannot be able to please everybody.
Marcy Arellano tried to give it to Marlon Monte, but it's tapped away. The score is 57-50. Muntinlupa was up 36-35 to start the second half. So a good third quarter here. 22 points for Quezon City kontra sa 14 ng Muntinlupa. Now again, the topic of this game, on top of the coverage, these two teams struggle in the second half. So which team will be able to hold on after 4 quarters of play? Both teams have losing streaks. Muntinlupa, 11 straight losses. Quezon City, 3 straight defeats. And the schedule won't be getting any easier, especially for QC. They have Batangas, Zamboanga, and Valenzuela as their next 3 games.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. And then for Muntinlupa, it's actually a golden opportunity if they win today's ball game because their next game is against Mindoro.
Yeah, that's right. And that's really going to be a good way for them to be able to improve their playoff hopes. Currently, they're at number 9 right now, just 2 wins behind Imus, who they will face in their next few games.
Right. It's Mindoro, Batangas, and then Imus. Mac Montilla for 3.
Finally, Mac Montilla making a basket after a drought somewhat in this game. That's now 9 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists, as you mentioned. Good stat line para sa kanya. Let's see if he'll be able to finish this game with an even better line.
Muntinlupa looking to build the momentum. Just couldn't connect on that play. Pass was too long for John Cantimbuhan.
That's turnover number 13 para sa Muntinlupa. Contrasting outcomes in that department for these two teams. Quezon City, they committed a lot of turnovers yesterday against Sarangani, while Muntinlupa was only able to commit 6.
Marcy Arellano, no good. Back Montilla on the sidestep before that half-court heave. So that concludes our first 3 quarters of play. Your last day here in the Sarangani province. Quezon City regaining the lead. They led by as much as 9 points in the first half before giving it up to be down by 1 point against Muntinlupa at halftime. But in this third frame, they're able to outscore the CAGERS by 7 points.
Despite the shuffling of players, Ketoy Seguro and Levi de la Cruz, they started that good run para dito sa QC. But Coach Bam Ledesma deciding to go with Marlon Monte, Kim Cinco, and Marcy Arellano, and they sustained the effort para sa kanilang koponan, especially that guy you just saw on your screens, Marlon Monte, as their team now up by 6 heading into the final frame.
Back here in the Sarangani Capital Gym, Muntinlupa versus Quezon City for your first game today on your MPBL Saturday. Later on, it will be the Sarangani Marlins defending their home court, going up against the Bacolod Bingo Plus in what looks to be another game that can go down the wire dito sa Liga ng Bawat Pilipino. Remember, back in Jensen last Monday and Tuesday, we were treated by the basketball gods with close games. Jensen won in both outings, but by 3 points and 1 point respectively.
And we hope to see another great classic matchup in that second game. This game has also been proven to be close, 24-17 in that third quarter. Quezon City winning that quarter after giving up the second, 18-10. So it has been QC, Muntinlupa, QC in this game. Let's see if that trend will continue. Can the CAGERS sustain and win this quarter and maybe even win the match and end their 11-game losing skid?
But Chris Menguez scoring the first basket of the fourth. Lead is up to 8-61-53. Arellano, alley-oop to Monte, able to catch at the last second. Lead now is 10 points, the biggest in the ball game for QC.
You knew he was going to pass that ball. It was just a matter of how he was going to do it. I was expecting that it was going to be a bounce pass, but lobbed it up, and that proved to be the right decision para kay Marcy Arellano as Arboleda answers back with the deuce off the feed from Ivan Villanueva.
That's the first basket for Muntinlupa in this quarter. This has been the kryptonite for the CAGERS, the fourth frame in the past couple of games. But can they turn things around? Arboleda working with Goy Alves, Ivan Villanueva, John Cantimbuhan, and Mac Montilla to start the fourth. Let's take a look at this replay. Montilla finding Ivan Villanueva, and then at the last second, he gives it up to his veteran, Harold Arboleda.
Responding well to what the defense was giving them. Montilla passing it off after that blitz on the two-man game, and Villanueva recognizing the extra pass.
63-55, Ivan inside, waved off. It's a traveling violation.
Almost the same play right there. They find Villanueva down low, but was called for steps. Missed opportunity for the CAGERS to trim this lead to 6.
8 minutes and 32, a lot of time here. Here's Marcy Arellano. He's working with Ken Asibar, Chris Menguez, Marlon Monte, who has had a great game so far, and Kim Cinco. Cantimbuhan on the drive. He needs a teammate. Turnover, one guy ahead. Marcy Arellano, the easiest 2 points in his Sarangani trip.
Again, there you see the inexperience of Troy Katimbuhan. Tries to run the break para sa kanilang koponan. Goes inside the lane with no clear intent of what he really wants to happen. Crosses over, turns it over, and Marcy Arellano, the lone guy ahead for QC, automatic 2 points.
That's the first basket of the ball game for Marcy Arellano. Asking for a sub after that play. Score is 65-55. There you see Police Colonel Nicomedes Olaivar Jr., the PNP Provincial Director of Sarangani as well, present at the sidelines. Later on, they will be cheering for the Marlins as they defend their home court against Marquee and the Bacolod Bingo Plus. Both teams coming off of wins yesterday. 65-55 the score right now. Muntinlupa down by 10. Villanueva trying to pound his way. Ivan, he will score.
Oh, they have really been trying to milk that two-man game between Montilla and Villanueva, and so far it has been more success than not para sa kanilang team.
Pass at the middle. Coy Alves, 1-2. That's a beautiful move.
The flexibility, the length on full display right there by Coy Alves, evading his defender, putting the ball up and getting it right up and in.
Second basket of the ball game para kay Coy Alves. Shot too strong. Rebound Alves. A 4-0 mini run here by Muntinlupa off of that recent timeout. Can they capitalize with this momentum? Montilla, kick out. Arboleda, they have 12 on the shot clock. Back Montilla, in and out. Alves with the board. Bounce pass. Good recognition by Levi de la Cruz.
Oh, what a great matchup that was. You saw how Coy Alves just put Chris Menges out of the way and snatched that rebound.
Take a look at the replay. There's that pass at the middle. Back Montilla locating his big man. Alves able to outlast Chris Menges on the fast break. Balik dito si Denzel Wong para sa QC alongside Jeric Nakpil. Here's Wong. Inside scoring natin 30-22. Wong could not add to that. Ball tapped away. Good recovery by De La Cruz. 8 on the shot clock. Nakpil will fire. Short. Rebound. Belongs to Montilla, but he was not ready for that steal by Ken Asibar as Asibar scores.
Well, not really very... That was uncharacteristic of Mac Montilla. Not ready to protect that basketball. That's the reason why he's playing point guard here para sa Muntinlupa Cagers, because Troy Katimbuhan has been shaky at best at that point guard spot.
Great work inside by Alves and Villanueva. Just could not convert. The other end, Simco goes to De La Cruz. Too strong. Rebound Arboleda. Forward pass. Back Montilla. His turn to score. He will go to the line for 2.
Muffed an easy attempt there, Mac Montilla, but 2 shots coming up for him. Kim Cinco had an extra pass to Levi de la Cruz, but I would have preferred for him to take that shot. He is a higher percentage 3-point shooter than Levi de la Cruz.
Babalik dito si Steven Codal at si Eugene Madera to replace the big men for the Muntinlupa Cagers. Back Montilla seeing extended minutes here, which is actually a good sign for Muntinlupa because it just means that his condition is getting better day by day after recovering from a hamstring injury. Did not play for most of the start of this 2022 season. This free throw is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. Effort inside. Almost paid off for Mac Montilla. The other end we go. Montilla is still on the other end of the floor as Denzel Wong connects from downtown.
And what a bonus that is for QC. Denzel Wong, one of the last players off the bench para kay Coach Bam Ledesma, able to score here and keep the rotation players fresh on the bench.
A good bounce pass. Domark Montiliano finding Steven Cudal. Tatawag dito ng timeout ng Quezon City. Back and forth we have gone in the past couple of possessions. It's still an 8-point lead, but you mentioned this guy, Denzel Wong. He doesn't usually see action in the fourth quarter. Usually pinapasok yan to end the second frame. The other end, Domark Montiliano able to locate Steven Cudal. You mentioned that's going to be one of the things that Montiliano has to improve on, is passing as well. 70-62 our score. The next 3 games for Muntinlupa, Mindoro, Batangas, and the very important matchup between Imus and Muntinlupa.
Yeah, Mindoro and Imus definitely very winnable games para dito sa CAGERS. That Batangas will be the toughest task ahead on their schedule. But these 2 games, very important that they secure those victories to be able to secure that number 8 spot at least in the playoffs in the South Division.
It's a very eventful next 3 games para sa Muntinlupa CAGERS. Obviously, that matchup against Imus, that might determine who's gonna go in the playoffs. But before that, that matchup against Batangas might actually be a preview of the first round encounter between those 2 teams. A block right here by Madera, and then that's 2 points for Domark Montiliano.
I thought we were going to see a slam by Domark, but Montiliano getting 2 points nonetheless. Good defense by the CAGERS to get the steal.
16 points for Domark Montiliano, his first 2 in the second half. Here's Mel Mabigat. Started this game, being defended right now by Harold Arboleda. 7 on the shot clock. They go to Asibar, catch and fire. No good. Montiliano with the board. It's Mac Montilla and Harold Arboleda playing together as point guards here para sa Muntinlupa. Montilla will score.
Very controlled, very calm, very poised. Crossover, hop step into the lane, the double pump. Great move right there by Mac Montilla.
You think this has been the best game so far for the season para kay Mac Montilla?
Oh yeah, definitely. And he's playing the most minutes so far this season, only averaging 18.5 minutes per ball game. He's now already up to 21 to 20 minutes.
Foul here by Denzel Wong. Clean foul as we bring you this epic move of the game in partnership with OKBet. Own the win. Mac Montilla, how about this guy coming alive at the perfect time para sa Muntinlupa CAGERS. You see his impact on the floor, his value as a player for Muntinlupa. Much like Harold Arboleda, very versatile, bringing a lot of leadership for the CAGERS.
Exactly, leadership. That's the key word there, Mix, because other than Montilla, Arboleda, a lot of the guys here are very young. Like Katimbuhan, you have Madera, you have Montiliano as well, and guys like Sarmiento and Coy Alves. All these guys needing that leadership to be able to steer that boat in the right direction, because these are guys who have seen a lot of basketball throughout their careers, especially here in the MPBL, and very important for them to be guided the right way, in the right direction.
70-67, 3 minutes and 38 left in this ball game. Just a single possession ball game. 5 on the shot clock. Another block for Muntinlupa. Ball stolen away. No more recovery. A shot clock violation here. There are 3 players down. Harold Arboleda, Mel Mabigat, and Steven Cudal.
Oh, you could see the desire para dito sa Muntinlupa in wanting to get possession of that leather. Bodies on the floor, and these are the not so young guys, right? Trying to get it. So, you know, these guys leading by example, trying to inspire their teammates. Sabihin nila, let's stop losing and let's end this 11-game losing streak. Let's get this victory today.
I like how you describe them. Not so young.
I try to stop myself, really.
Montilla on his drive. Ball out of bounds in favor of Muntinlupa. 70-67 here, folks. Another game that goes down the wire sa Liga ng Bawat Pilipino. Baseline inbound. Arboleda. 7 on the shot clock now. They go to Matiliano. Ooh, sorry turnover. The other end we go. Levi de la Cruz with his father watching at the sideline. Could not convert. And a chance now for the CAGERS to trim this lead or possibly tie it. Cross court. Matiliano for the tie. Too strong. Rebound Arboleda. Put back. Wala pa rin. Takbo sa kabila. Bounce pass. Mabigat. That's his shot. Just too strong. Rebound Asibar. Battle inside. Tapped away. Matiliano recovers it. Almost a sorry pass. Pressure mula kay Levi de la Cruz. 16 on the shot clock. Now here's Matiliano being defended by Marcy Arellano. Domark. Pass inside. Call at the last second. It's a charge.
Well, I loved how he waved away Harold Arboleda and called for that isolation play on the post. But Marcy Arellano, very clever defender, especially in the post, was at a height disadvantage, but definitely because of his IQ, was able to pull off the chair underneath Domark Matiliano and draw the offensive foul.
It is a single possession ball game, folks. 70-67, 2 minutes and 16 remaining. Up next, the Sarangani Marlins will be defending their home court for the second time this season, third time in MPBL history against the Bacolod Bingo Plus. Both teams coming off of victories yesterday here in the Sarangani Capital Gym. Right now, it's a 3-point lead for QC. Jeric Nakbil could not extend that. And Muntinlupa will now have a chance to try to trim this lead or tie it with Domark Matiliano, Mac Montilla, Harold Arboleda, Steven Cudal, and Eugene Madera.
It's not every day that you see Jeric Nakbil missing all of his attempts from that range. He has not knocked down a jumper from the perimeter in this match.
And that's after scoring 13 points yesterday. 6 out of 13 from the field. Domark Matiliano trimming this lead down to 1.
Oh, the parting of the White Sea there.
Alley-oop. Nakbil on the catch. Kick out. Marcy. This is going to be big. He puts it in for 3.
And this is what we've been saying about Marcy Arellano. When he wants to turn it on, he will definitely turn it on. And he loves these big moments. Nakita naman natin in this season, he had that game winner. I believe that was against Pasig or Bacoor.
Steven Cudal answering back off of the great pass from Harold Arboleda.
So now makes the veterans coming into play here. But Jeric Nakbil, costly mistake. Stepped on that line. And our referees sharp to call that, blew the whistle, and now awarding possession to Muntinlupa. They now have a chance to tie or even take the lead with a 3-pointer.
Muntinlupa led to start the second half. Now they tie things up, 73-all.
Basic triangle play on that baseline. That up screen to Madera, freeing himself for that easy 2 points. Lousy defense there by QC, especially at this point.
The biggest lead for QC was 10 points, but because of that 13-3 run, we're all tied up, 1 minute and 11. This is not the home game yet, folks, but you're hearing the crowd, a very passionate crowd here in Sarangani, 9 seconds on the shot clock. Baseline inbound para kay Marcy Arellano. They go to Mabigat. Napes on the catch. Kyle will score.
They ran a double screen for Mabigat. Got the leather, and then Nakpil set a down screen for Kyle Napes. Came out of it and shot it in rhythm. Timely basket para sa kanila.
The other end, here's Mac Montilla. 54 seconds to go. Double team, almost a turnover. He needs a teammate. He finds Arboleda. Bounce pass. Madera's in trouble. Almost scored, and he will go to the line for 2.
A broken play. Salvage right there by Muntinlupa. Harold Arboleda, he was looking to score, but then bounced it off at the last minute to Eugene Madera, who has proved to be effective in these last moments para dito sa Muntinlupa CAGERS in this game.
And remember, before Steven Cudal and Eugene Madera checked in, Ivan Villanueva and Coy Alves were spark plugs, getting those rebounds to begin the quarter. First free throw is a miss.
And Muntinlupa is now 10 out of 16 from the charity stripe. Under 65% from that area in this game, while QC shooting it well, 82%, 14 out of 17. That's 2 misses now from the line galing dito kay Eugene Madera.
75-73. 33 seconds to go. 15 on the shot clock. Arellano escaping the defense. Ball tapped away. Recovered by Nakpil. Jeric will score off the glass.
Very crucial basket right there, nailed by Jeric Nakpil. They didn't even have to score right away, but when he got the offensive rebound, he saw that opportunity. Got past Madera, and Cudal was late to challenge to try and even bother that shot. Easy 2 points off the offensive board galing kay Jeric Nakpil. More importantly, a 2-possession ball game kalamangan dito ng Quezon City MG Cars.
Back here in the Sarangani Capital Gym, Quezon City with a 4-point lead. Only 24 seconds to go. No more timeouts remaining for Muntinlupa and 1 left for QC. Now, the MG Cars are in penalty. Muntinlupa has 2 more fouls to give here, and they will work with Justin Alano, Ivan Villanueva, Mac Montilla, Harold Arboleda, and Domark Matiliano. As for QC, they will defend with Levy de la Cruz, Marcy Arellano, Mel Mabigat, Kyle Napes, and Jeric Nakpil. Sideline inbound here. 14 on the shot clock, as it is a half-court inbound. Montilla, aggressive drive, he will go to the line.
That's a good move there for Muntinlupa. You take the best shot available at the quickest time possible para dito sa CAGERS, because time not on their side right now and they're trying to battle back from a 4-point deficit. Crucial free throws right here by Mac Montilla. We noted earlier in this game that he was only 33.3% from that charity stripe. Knocking down the first though. Another clutch situation needed to be conquered by Montilla on the second free throw.
He's up to 3 out of 5 from the line, 60%, 11 out of 18 in total. Just a shade below 66% para sa Muntinlupa CAGERS. 20 seconds to go. Second one is good. QC will not call their timeout. 77-75. They have to take care of the basketball.
Muntinlupa has to foul.
Marcy. They give it up to Mel Mabigat. There's the chase mula kay Matiliano. And Mabigat will proceed to the line.
They initially tried to go for the steal But when that didn't work, Matiliano had to give up the foul. Only the third team foul para sa Muntinlupa.
So no free throws yet. One last foul to give here.
They have to foul right away.
De La Cruz setting himself free. Oh, dangerous situation right here. Mabigat catches it. That's the last foul to give.
I was 1 second away, or maybe even a half second away from a 5-second violation. And Marcy Arellano, calm and cool, collected, able to get that pass inside.
12.8 seconds. Coach Ram Ledesma absorbing the contact from Jeric Nakpil. But no, Coach Bam will not go to the free throw line. It will be Jeric Nakpil.
Well, let's see if Jeric Nakpil can prove to be the better free throw shooter than Coach Bam.
First one is good. That's a big free throw for Nakpil. We talked about his struggle with his mid-range shot, specialty of the house. Right now, a chance for him to make this a two-possession ball game. 0 timeouts left para sa Muntinlupa CAGERS. 11.9 to go. Forward pass. Back Montilla. He's gonna go for 2 points. Almost had a 3-point play. Sorry miss on the layup.
That could have been big. Could have given them a slight opening on that door to maybe tying this game or ending up with a victory. But because he missed, it looks like the outcome is almost certain here in this game.
Free throw converted by Montilla, who immediately looked back as he thought his release was off. But good for him to make these crucial free throws. 8.8 to go.
Let's see if he'll try to miss this one and go for the offensive rebound in the 3.
He makes it. This is the last timeout for the Quezon City MG Cars. 8.8 seconds to go. They're up by 2. Ito yung sinasabi natin, free throws mattering even more, especially in the last minutes of the ball game. And it's going to be interesting to see kung sino rin ang ipapasok ng QC as their last 5, because they're going to have to put in their best free throw shooters. By the way, on Monday, we will be back in the NCR. Back in Pampanga, in the Benguiao Convention Center, Batangas versus Rizal. That's a good matchup. A potential second-round matchup in the South Division playoffs. Valenzuela versus Pasig City. A potential first-round matchup in the North Division playoffs. And Pampanga versus Bataan. A potential second-round matchup in the North Division playoffs. And the battle between the homegrown teams here in the MPBL.
That's right. 2 of the best homegrown teams here in the MPBL. So that's definitely going to be a treat. Those slate of games, something that I look forward to watching. Even if I'm not covering that game, you will be.
Yes. But we're also looking forward to Javi Palanya returning to Nueva Ecija on Tuesday. Pero sa ngayon, andito po tayo sa Sarangani. 8.8 seconds to go. No timeouts. No more fouls to give. QC with a 2-point lead, and they have the basketball. Marcy will inbound. They look for De La Cruz. He gets it. Almost a turnover. But the referees will review it. I mean, the hearts of the people here in this venue stopped for a split second. And it happened right in front of us.
That's going to be big if they decide to give the ball to Muntinlupa.
Right.
Because this is just a 2-point ball game in a score or a 3. A score could tie para sa kanila, but a 3 could win this game. So still a lot of things that could happen in the last 7.8 seconds of this game. The CAGERS really still hanging in there.
Remember, they have an 11-game losing streak. Coach Jules Hidalgo and company, they're going to want to break that tonight. QC on the other end, 3 straight losses as well. As you take a look at the replay.
That's a tough angle.
Oh no, hindi kita.
That's a tough angle. Oh, that looked to have been off Levy De La Cruz.
Buti na lang nasa, di ba? Nakuha pa rin ng cameraman natin yun. tough angle. It wasn't at the center of the screen.
But even if Muntinlupa, they get possession, no timeouts for both teams, so no chance for Coach Jules Hidalgo to be able to draw up a play. It will be on the shoulders of his players to try and come up with something that can materialize for them. But our referees, they decide that the ball stays with QC with 7.8 seconds remaining.
Sideline, Marcy Arellano back at it. He needs a teammate. Where will it go? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Mel Mabigat went straight to our table here alongside Harold Arboleda. Referee pointed Muntinlupa's way. So that's a golden opportunity for the CAGERS to try to score here. Alright, so there you go, Javi. No free throws. Great defense para sa Muntinlupa CAGERS. They will work with Harold Arboleda, Justin Alano, Ivan Villanueva, Mac Montilla, and Domark Matiliano with 6.3 seconds to go. No timeouts, no more fouls to give. Here's Mac Montilla. Down to 3 seconds. Oh, almost tapped away. Villanueva has to fire for the win. That's too strong. And the Quezon City MG Cars will survive here in Sarangani. They will not go home with 4 losses. It's a 1 win, 3 losses for them. Muntinlupa on the other end, 2 losses in their 2 outings here in the Sarangani Capital Gym.
Oh, look at that last play. Montilla held the ball for too long, in my opinion. And Ivan Villanueva just had to rush it from the logo. And that was just too much muscle on that attempt. That was a golden opportunity for them to end their 11-game losing streak. Now they extended to a dozen. Right now, they're catching up to Makati, who is on a 13-game losing slump.
It was a mighty effort for the Muntinlupa CAGERS as they cut the lead down to just 2 points after being down by 10. Ang ating player of the game brought to you by OKBet, the official partner of the MPBL. With OKBet on the win is Marlon Monte, a breakout game for him in this season.
Yeah, that's right. I think this is his best game of the season. 4 out of 8 from the field. He really set the tone for them in that third quarter. Although he was not fielded in anymore in the final period, he really carried the torch para dito sa Quezon City to be able to get this win. And the last unit on the floor securing that victory para sa kanila and avoid being winless on this trip.
And Marlon Monte is now with Sheila Salaysay.
Yes, Tex Migs, Marlon, congratulations for final winning your last game for this week. Pero you've had difficulty and challenges sa mga laro nyo ngayong linggo. Paano nyo nakuha itong laro without Escocia, without Celada and Lau?
Sinabi lang ng mga coach namin na mag-focus lang kami sa defense namin, mag-execute kami mabuti para makuha namin panalo.
Well, parati kayong nalalagay sa crucial part of the game. Pero bilang mga veterano, how do you stay composed at paano dinadala yung team?
Wala, sabi lang ni coach compose lang kami sa defense namin, mag-focus lang sa defense, yun lang.
Meron ka bang gustong pasalamatan?
First of all, nagpapasalamat ako kay Lord God sa binigay niyang panalo, sa family ko sa Bulacan, mga anak ko, si Lebron, si Marla, si BBM, and sa binabati ko pala yung biyan ko, si Nanay Henning, na happy birthday po.
Maraming salamat. Congratulations, Marlon Monte from QCMG Cars. Our best player of the game this is brought to you by OKBet, the official partner of the MPBL, with OKBet on the win. Migs and Javi.
Thank you so much, Sheila. Breakout game para kay Marlon Monte, who gives us a smile here at the sideline. Very proud to represent Quezon City here all the way in Sarangani. Next up, the Marlins will be defending their home court for the 2nd time this season and 3rd time in MPBL history, going up against Bacolod Bingo Plus. 2 teams that won yesterday here in the Sarangani Capital Gym. In behalf of my partner Javi Balanya, our courtside reporter Sheila Salaysay, my name is Migs Gomez at magbabalik ko po ang Maharlika Pilipinas Basketball League, ang liga ng bawat Pilipino.
Dahil sa husay ng bawat isa, sigawan ay umayanig kapag nag-3 points na. Bawat bayay di patatalo, buong barangay ay suportado. Kahit ano ang mangyari, sama-sama tayo.
And now let's make some noise for your